Have you ever had an argument with your partner about money and it started with something small and that argument just went left? And for some people, we're laughing because we've been there. For some people, it could be about the other person is spending too much money, or the other person is not saving enough, or it could be, where did all the money go, baby? Right? Mm-hmm. But in reality is that those arguments is not always about money. A lot of it stems from you're talking about like responsibility, or you're also talking about like trust. Mm-hmm. Not only that, like our past experience and what we went through can impact the money conversations. Mm-hmm. And so Franklin and I, we really want to talk to everyone in regards to why couples fight about money. But not only that, stay to the end, family, because Franklin and I, we really believe and really want to talk to you about why do we think that it's truly not about the money. And we'll share some of our experiences. We'll share some of our experience with you so you can see how we have been able to navigate the money conversations over time.
Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. As we jump into the conversation about why do couples fight about money.
I love this.
Yeah, it's going to be a great conversation. I would say the first question I have is, why do couples fight about money?
You know what, baby? I'm going to use us, because at the beginning of our marriage, like we all, people say arguments, or we say discussions, or whatever it is. But when Frank and I got together, and even years ago, it wasn't about the money. It was about trust, mm-hmm. like the trust with us. And that's for a lot of couples. Like for me, it was going through the divorce. Like you don't realize the wounds that you open up when money conversations start happening, and then it blows into arguments, right? And so for me, it was more so the trust. For Franklin, it was more so like the past. Like mm-hmm. my husband, I could not understand why my husband was so conservative. But when we really talked through it, you gotta share it.
I was financially prudent.
It was financially prudent. But your past experience can boil into your marriage. It can boil into your relationship. It can boil into the money conversations. And so for me, I really had to allow God to work in me for me to be able to heal, so I can start trusting my husband in regards to money, because it wasn't about him, because Frank is really great at finance, like you really are, baby. But it was me being able to heal from that as well.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I know from my perspective, you know, what I grew up, growing up and going through, you know, some financial challenges, and, you know, that helped shape your perspective or your worldview. And so that allowed me to be more, I would say, risk adverse. And that would allow me, you know, not to take as many risks, and learn how to save and learn how to be more conservative. But, you know, some of the lessons were good, but some of the lessons were not so good. So I brought that into the marriage. And so that can have an impact on shaping how we navigate when we first got married.
Right. I love it too, because, you know, if you want to be able to move forward in the money conversations, right, and stop fighting about money, you have to address, like, we got to address the root cause, like what's really, really affecting us together, so we can move forward in our relationship.
That's great. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Baby, so what happens when one person is a saver and the other person is a spender?
I say it's the battle of comfort zones and perspectives. And so what I mean by that, the person who is the spender, they feel like they work hard and they want the freedom to be able to enjoy their money, you know, because after all, you know, they put a lot of hard work into it. You know, they just want to live a little, you know, they want to spend, they want to enjoy life. On the other hand, the saver, they feel financial security by saving. And so they feel like, okay, I have more security The more I save, the more security I have. Now, the most important thing is both the people have to come together and have shared goals. You may have a perspective and I may have a perspective, but at the end of the day, it's about moving the family, the household, the relationship forward financially. So you have to have shared priorities, shared goals, and I would say you have to use numbers.
Right.
Because if you don't use numbers, the conversation can go sideways really quick. We've been there.
Right.
You know, you can start talking about all kind of crazy stuff, but at the end of the day, the root cause and the things you need to stick to the numbers.
Right. I love it. For when you said spender and saver, the other piece is that those two combinations, you then have to go back and try to figure out why is Franklin a big saver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like did his past impact him as to why he saved so much and not spend the money that God has given him, right? The other piece is that if you are a big spender, where is that stemming from? Because a lot of things that we're dealing with when it comes to overspending or saving, right? Don't get me wrong, we love to save, right? But there is a balance between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to go back and understand, why am I really spending so much money?
Mm-hmm.
And and far as the numbers, we're numbers people, right? But in reality is that if you don't know, if you have no idea what's coming in and what's going out, that's another piece you have to deal with to understand, okay, let's really sit down and hone in on the numbers.
That's really good because the numbers give you financial guardrails. If you're taking a trip and you're going around a mountain, and you need some financial guardrails to help you stay on track. Because if your spending becomes so great that it goes over those financial guardrails, guess what's across those guardrails? It's a cliff.
Yes.
And that you don't want to go off the financial cliff. I remember we took the trip to Lake Tahoe.
Yes.
And I was telling my wife, she's afraid of flights. Afraid of heights. And so we was going around the mountains in Lake Tahoe. And I was telling her, baby, look at that big mountain over there. She closed her eyes. She didn't even want to look. She didn't want to look down or anything to enjoy the beautiful scenery. You don't remember that, do you?
No, I do.
But sometimes it's okay to enjoy the scenery, but you still have to have those financial guardrails that the numbers provide.
Right, and it takes time. Like it took us years to really unpack what I was dealing with, what Franklin was dealing with. We're not going to tell you that it's going to happen overnight. It's a thing you have to work towards, because it's you and that person, not you and that person against that problem. Like, let's tackle that problem so we can be able to move forward.
I love it. That's beautiful. The second question I have for you is, what if one partner handles all the money?
What? Well, one, you don't want that. And the reason why I state that you don't want that, although sometimes we are afraid to look at the numbers and afraid to look at like the finance, you want to be able to understand as a couple what we are spending, what income is coming in, what is our savings like. Like for Franklin and I, we're both excellent in finance. One of us is much stronger in a certain area. Like I'll use this. Franklin is much stronger in investing than I am. I'm much stronger in budgeting than he is. But that doesn't mean that I don't know what's going on on the investing side, and he doesn't know what's going on in the budgeting side, right? There was a point where I didn't want him to look at the budget because I had trust issues, but we've gotten past that. And so to be able to understand being able to move your family forward financially and focus on your vision and where you want to go, it is very healthy for you and your significant other to really work together to understand, what do we have, what's going out, what's coming in, and where are we going as a family. Because you cannot answer those questions if only one person know the answer. Both of you all have to come together, like my husband said, the financial plan, really looking at the numbers and really understanding it.
That's great. I remember you had that budget on lockdown. I was like,
did.
baby, please let go and let God. Let that budget breathe a little bit. Let me see what's around the corner. You had that thing on lockdown for sure, but it took us a while to work through that season.
Yes.
And it's okay to work through the season as long as you're moving forward, as long as you're communicating effectively.
Right. I love it. It was locked. Okay. What about hidden spending or financial secrets?
Oh, those are big ones, because when you don't have transparency in your finance, it affects so many other areas of your relationship. And like what you said before, it becomes a trust issue. And so couples who don't share their financial information. I remember having a friend, this was many years ago, he said, my wife doesn't share her check, how much she makes with me. And it's been going on for years. And I was like, wow, that's a big issue. And sometimes it's not just finances, it's trust.
Right.
And that's something that you have to address and get over.
Right. No, I love it, because that's funny. And that's another piece that stems from like a lot of fights too, when it comes to like the partner doesn't want the other partner to know how much they make. Right. Or how much they are saving. But there has to be a point where you come together and really start talking about deeper issues that we're all dealing with. And I'll take it a step further, baby, is that when you have children that you are raising, you want them to be able to see you work together and really iron out in regards to the income coming in, the expenses that are going out, us really like having conversations, especially when you have children that are like in their teenage years, in their teenage stage. They really need to see that, because what they see, they take that on to their family, and you want them to be able to take healthy conversations and be able to iron out and to deal with the money piece together as a whole.
Oh, I love it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And do you have any other things you would like to add to, I know credit cards, that's a big one, where people are hiding money using their credit cards. But at the end of the day, like what you said, it's about, dealing with the real issue and tackling it together and saying, hey, we could get over this, but we do have to have that conversation no matter how difficult it may be. And you have to start with putting all your cards on the table and saying, this is where we're at.
This is where we're at.
And build from there. You can't always go with what the perceived notion that, we're here. But when you look at the numbers and say, oh, no, we're really here.
We're really here.
And we need to deal with this. We need to deal with the trust. We need to deal with the lack of transparency.
Right.
And we need God's help to help us get over the hump.
Right. And the other piece, because that's good, is to listen to each other. Really listen to each person's perspective, because that person is pouring out to you what they are dealing with inside of them. And the other piece is that we have to be able to give each other grace. Like, it takes time to work through years and years of experience of what a person dealt with. My divorce happened in my 20s, and it came back like I was like, I thought this thing was gone, but it didn't come back. But
Jason.
But in reality is that we were able to deal with it together. And so that's the advice that we will leave to all the couples. We pray our video truly blesses you and your family. Drop it in the comments below, true or false. If it's you and your partner against the problem, true or false, family.
Please like this video, subscribe to our channel so you can see what's coming next. Your financial journey is better together.